Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to be sewing up this turtleneck. I just released a turtleneck pattern for my brand. So I have a brand where I make sewing patterns as well as ready to wear and custom made stuff. So I thought I would make this up because it's such a simple make and it's one of my favorite things to make. I really love turtlenecks because they're super versatile. I wear them under so many things in winter and I really just like layering with them, and it's a good basic where you can make up a lot of these and wear them a lot of times. I find that you can also find these in stores for like ridiculous prices, like $100, and to me that just blows my mind when you can buy the fabric for like anywhere between like $5 and $20 a meter, and you really only need a little bit more than a meter to make one of these. So I'm going to make this one up, which is out of this merino stripe. I got this from Darn Cheap Fabrics. I believe it was around about the $10 mark. I only got 80 centimeters, which is less than I recommend to get for the pattern. This was a little bit wider. I believe it was 160. And because I was making the small size, I figured I could probably Tetris it together, which I did have to do quite a bit of Tetrising to make it work. So if you want ease of cutting, I would definitely get the recommended amount. But if you want to spend your time Tetrising and you're going to be making the smallest size, you can possibly get it out of 80 centimeters, but I do recommend going with the recommended amount. And yeah, it's a pretty simple make. Just need an overlocker and cover stitch. Few things are straight stitched, and yeah, super easy to wear and super comfy and cozy. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've already cut all the pieces out. I didn't film that footage on my good camera, only on my phone. So basically what I did for that was lay all the pieces out in a way that will fit them all in as close together as possible. I got this out of 80 centimeters of fabric. For the pattern, I do suggest you buy more, just because this fabric was a little bit wider, so I was actually able to get it only out of 80. As always, if you are using a slightly wider fabric or you're really trying to Tetris the pieces in there, what I usually do is trace out my pieces, get them ready, and then kind of lay them out on a desk and measure out exactly what I need and how close together I can squish them in and make it work. So with this one, what I did, because it's striped, is I lined up all the stripes when I folded the fabric over. That way I knew when I cut it out, the stripes would be matching at the side seams. And I cut the front and back out at the same time, and then, so I essentially cut two backs, and then because the front is only a slight variation on the back, it's got a slightly cut in armhole and a lower neckline. All I had to do then was make those changes on the back, the second back piece. And yeah, so I think I matched up the stripes alright. We'll see when it gets all sewn together, but I usually just lay it out with all the stripes trying to match while it's being folded, so I don't have to cut things out open and have to cut it out multiple times. It just gets a lot messier. So let's jump into sewing it. So first step is getting the front and back, which is what I've got here. If my camera will focus. That's better. So front is on top here, back here, and doing it with right sides together. This fabric is double faced, so you can actually use either side. And I'm just put pins in each of the shoulders, and all I'm going to do is overlock each of these. Then next I'm going to take the sleeve pieces, these are both of them here, and I'm going to fold this up. I don't bother pinning it, I usually just do it by eye on the machine. And it's particularly easy when it's striped because there's a nice straight line to follow. But I'm going to be using the cover stitch machine for these to fold them up. If you don't have a cover stitch, twin needles on your sewing machine give a very similar look, or a zigzag stitch will allow it to still be stretchy, which is important for this pattern. You need that stretch. Same with this one. Here I'm overlocking these, but you can use a zigzag as well, but you need something that allows that stretch because it is a stretch garment and it needs to stretch to get onto the body. Okay, so this is the neck piece. So this one I cut the full width, not the half width, because I want a nice cuddly turtleneck. And this one I'm just going to machine stitch this edge with 1 centimeter seam. This doesn't need the stretch because it's not going with the stretch of the garment anyway. And also it's not going to stretch when I put it on, it's only going to stretch this way. So yeah, I'm going to machine stitch this overlock the shoulders and cover stitch the hem. Okay, so these have been sewn, and now I've got the neck piece, which I've folded in half, and the neck on the body. And what I've done is put a pin at the quarter point, so 4 pins there and 4 pins here. Because this is slightly smaller than the neck, you need to match up the pins to fit. It's very, very close size to that. It's like almost the same, so it's not super important, but you will need to ease this on to this a little bit. I'm also going to pin the sleeves into place as well, and I'll try to match up some of the stripes there. How I usually match up the stripes is, as you can kind of, you know, see them there at the side seams, I'll put like a pin in here and then every other one, just so there's not heaps and heaps of pins, but at least that way it won't move around too much and the stripes will remain matched. Yeah, so I'm going to overlock this onto this and the sleeves onto the armhole. I should have also said before, all the seam allowances are 1 centimeter, so if you're putting them through the overlocker, you'll need to make sure that this needle here is hitting at the 1 centimeter mark. So most overlocking is usually about 6 mil wide, so you're going to be cutting off about 4 mil extra. Some machines have it marked where the 1 centimeter is, otherwise just measure out 1 centimeter from your needle. If you put a little bit of sticky tape or a marking there, that way you know that you're going to be sewing at exactly 1 centimeter. So yeah, I'm going to attach those together, and yeah. Alright, so I just thought I'd show you how I pinned this together. So I've put the notch at the top here with the shoulder seam, and then the notch at the back with the notch at the back, and the fabric again is just right sides together. And so this is what it looks like from the other side. That's the shoulder seam there. And then the neck, I've put the stitching line at the back. That's just the easiest way to mark the back for when I want to put the garment on. So matching that, the front piece, and then the other corners. And then I've attached the sleeve the same as the other one with the right sides together. So these I'm going to go over and overlock now. Okay, so I've overlocked both of the sleeves on as well as the neck. So the neck's now done. What I'm going to do is fold these over as they are right now, match the armhole seams together, and also match the hem and the hem at the bottom. And then I'm going to overlock the side seam. Then I'm going to go to the cover stitch and stitch up the hem, and then once that's done, do the other side, and then just secure the sleeve hems and one side of the overlocking hem on the machine, and it will be done. So I've got the hem all nicely done. So the hem's all been cover stitched, everything's sewn up, and all I do, because these have just been overlocked, I just stitch over the last centimeter with just my regular machine, just over literally that much back and forth, just to really secure that, because an overlocker isn't going to secure it 100%. And yeah. Okay, so I'm super happy with how this turned out. I'm happy I went with the high neck because it's going to be really nice and comfy. You can also roll the neck down when you wear it, so it is kind of versatile. I just love wearing these all winter long. And the fact it's merino means it's going to be really nice and warm, while also still breathing, so you're not going to get super sweaty and gross like in a polyester. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll link the pattern down below. It is available for hard copy purchase as well as PDF, so whichever one you like better. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!